I'm an Israeli American. I'm a Palestinian. And we are fighting. I've got dual citizenship, and I have no citizenship.
I have the rights of 2 citizens.
I have the rights of no citizens. I have an extra citizenship by taking theirs away. Please, we need food, water.
Oops, gotta go. I'm late for brunch.
We just discovered another mass grave. Children were tied up and executed, and some were buried alive.
Well, where else are we gonna put our new Six Flags?
Please, there is a famine.
Oh my God, they're out of hollandaise?
Please, this is a genocide.
I have the right to defend myself.
And I have the right to die very quietly.
Oh my God, you guys don't have an Eggs Benedict?
Please, we're being slaughtered.
I'm thinking of going back to Brooklyn for the summer.
They've slaughtered my entire family.
My God, you're so whiny.
Am Yisrael chai. Chai latte, what?
Hello, am Yisrael chai.
What the fuck does that mean?
It means the people of Israel live.
Clearly, you're committing a mass murder right now. We're well aware of your existence.
People of Israel live
on stolen land. What's going on?
We've got to evacuate.
Wait, why are you all leaving?
Tel Aviv is being bombed. We're the victims.
We live in fear. Evacuate, but why? You said this was the promised land.
This is our poopy land.
And you are the chosen people.
We are the chosen pee hole.
So the chosen people are not going to defend the promised land?
No!
You would abandon your promised land, so you're basically saying you're anti-Semitic.
They're bombing Tel Aviv.
Wait, Iran is bombing military targets in Tel Aviv?
Yeah!
So the Israeli government purposefully built military installations next to civilian objects in a city center?
I guess.
So Israel is using its own citizens as human shields? Damn, where are you gonna go?
Back to my mom's in Brooklyn. Such an inconvenience. I gotta spend summer now in New York City. God, I really wanted to be at the beach.
The Palestinians deserve human rights. Well, why did Hamas squander all the aid that was sent to them? A, that's not true, and B, you're telling on yourself. According to a UN report, why was 80% of Gaza's inhabitants relying on international aid before October 7th? How is it that Gaza has been completely deprived of an economy, robbed of all the things that they might derive value from, their land, resources, and labor? Why is their economy nothing more than foreign handouts? Duh, because they spend all their money on rockets. Well, again, another lie, and even if it were true, Israel is imposing an illegal blockade and siege of the Gaza Strip. Israel has imposed concentration camp-like living conditions in the Gaza Strip. That's not true. They left in 2005. They redeployed in 2005 around the perimeter of the compound wall that surrounds Gaza, built by Israel. And yet again, they streamlined their occupation by installing Palestinian subcontractors to do Israel's bidding. Hamas just squandered the opportunities given to them. Why isn't Gaza another Singapore? Well, it might have to do with the fact that every so often Israel launches another high-tech murderous bombing campaign, which it calls cleverly mowing the lawn, and further restricts access to basic human survival needs in the Gaza Strip, which is unanimously condemned and decried by the entire world community. I mean, we were really hoping for a sustainable calm.
Don't you mean a permanent ceasefire?
No, just a calm that's, sustainable.
Sounds like you're trying really hard not to say permanent ceasefire because you don't want a permanent ceasefire. Is that correct?
We would love a permanent ceasefire, but let's be real. Camus doesn't want a two-state solution. How about just an immediate peace right now? Exactly, there must be a path to peace.
No, not a path to peace, just peace.
Well, okay, so no. How about an interregnum?
What the fuck is that?
Get this, okay? It's an interim period of confidence building where we can work towards establishing normalized relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia.
Wait, Saudi Arabia? Don't you mean Palestine?
Oh, my sweet summer child. All right, bomb them.
Okay, cool. Now they're starving.
Feed them?
How much?
Just enough to keep them alive so we can continue bombing them.
Perfect.
Attention Gazans, evacuate from the north. It's not safe.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and also, evacuate from the south. It's not safe.
Like...
Evacuate from the north and evacuate from the south at the same time. They're both not safe.
I'm confused.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Where can we go?
The fuck away?
Seriously.
I don't know how I can be any more clear. Re-evacuate from the evacuations and evacuate to the evacuated.
Yeah, that's not helping. Where do we go?
Look, the people in the north should go south, and the people in the south should go, like, north.
So, like, go to the middle.
Yeah, the fucking middle.
Okay, we're in the middle.
Uh-oh, preemptive counterterrorism strike.
Oh my god.
Alright, let's invade Rafah. Wait a second, the place that you designated as safe and told millions of people to evacuate to? We're now designating it unsafe.
Wow, okay, well all these people just got here. Where can they go now?
To Khan Yunis.
Back to Khan Yunis.
Yeah.
The place that you just bombed.
Uh-huh.
And told people to flee from.
Yeah.
Okay, is Khan Yunis now a safe zone?
It's safer.
Safer than...
Rafah.
The place that you've been bombing and are about to invade. Right. So you're saying Khan Yunis is now a safe zone, right?
It's a safer zone.
What does that mean?
It's not safe at all.
Yeah, I thought that might be the answer.
We're doing the best we can.
Sure.
Any old town. Hamas stronghold. Hospital. Hamas command center. School. Hamas training facility. Civilians. Hamas battalions. Families. Garbage targets. Children. Junior militants. Babies. Future terrorists. Home. Kill zone. Wi-Fi. Terror tunnel. MRI. AK-47. Food. Terror fuel. Water. Terror juice. Health ministry. Hamas run. The you fucking in. Jew haters. The world court. Anti-Semitic. Medicine. Terror pills. Journalists. Jew haters. Media. Hamas funded. Bakery. Hamas created. Houthis. Hamas adjacent. Gaza, West Bank, Jordan. Greater Israel. Deliberate killings. Misidentification. Extrajudicial murder. Israel has the right to defend itself. Children's puzzle. Threat to national security. And if the press pipes up, we're looking into it. And if they won't shut up, we found we did nothing wrong. Excellent.
Wreck it. Cool. Smoke it. Yes. Crush it. Done. Kill it. Thank you. Raise it. Torch it.
Let's compare the devastation imposed by Hamas on the civilian population of Israel on October 7th and the devastation imposed by Israel on the Gaza Strip since October 7th. Here we have a drone shot of a neighborhood in Ashkelon, Israel on October 7th. Wow, 2 cars. I really feel bad for those people that had to take the bus that day to work. Cut to 2 months later. Look, this is a shot from literally earlier today of an Israeli airstrike on the Gaza Strip. Wow, that looks like a whole hell of a lot more than just 2 cars being destroyed. Israel's already killed dozens of more civilians in Palestine, even just now. Just as the ceasefire has ended, Israel has killed some 15,000 Palestinian civilians since October 7th. 6,100 of them are children. 2/3 of the 15,000 are women and children. And still we have chuds saying that Israel has the right to defend itself. Yesterday we learned that Israel in fact knew about Hamas's plan to attack for over a year before it happened. They knew the extent, they knew the scope, they knew the scale, they knew the strategy, they knew the tactics, and they knew the targets, but still decided to turn a blind eye. This is according to the New York Times. The Israeli government intercepted a 40-page document, in fact, that they codenamed Jericho Wall. Jericho Wall outlined point by point exactly the kind of devastating invasion that led to the deaths of about 1,200 people. Israeli officials privately concede that had the military taken these warnings seriously and redirected significant reinforcements to the south where Hamas attacked, Israel could have blunted the attacks or possibly even prevented them. Earlier this year, in July, just 3 months before the attacks, a veteran analyst with Unit 8200, which is Israel's signal intelligence agency, warned that Hamas had conducted an intense day-long training exercise that appeared similar to what was outlined in the blueprint. Israeli security officials have already acknowledged that they failed to protect the country, and the government is expected to assemble a commission to study the events leading up to the attacks. Remember, in 1973, Golda Meir was ousted from her position as prime minister because she failed to intercept and prevent the preemptive strike from Egypt and Syria against Israel. All of this spells the end of the political career of Benjamin Netanyahu, and he knows it. That is why he is bloodthirsty right now, looking to extend this war into the foreseeable future, because he knows once the dust settles, he is out. I'm sharing this comment because this is peak liberalism, and this is why I cannot stand liberals. Liberals love to live in the abstract. They love to virtue signal about their stance on oppression. Liberals are completely fine with Palestinians playing their assigned role of underdog, insubordinate, subjugated, oppressed, colonized people. But the moment that they decide to retaliate against a much larger and much more powerful, oppressive apartheid state regime, they clutch their pearls and they say, no, not like that. They were never about Palestinian liberation. They do not care about Palestinian liberation. They just don't want to feel uncomfortable. They're not actually willing to accept the fact that decolonization is a violent process. So what does this liberal do? He sides with Israel. After a much weaker and more vulnerable social group, which has been oppressed and massacred for decades now, is finally fighting back. The liberal immediately sides with fascism. Always. This is a repeated historical process played out over generations, from continent to continent, from country to country. It's always the same story. Liberalism is a disease. Being neutral to fascism is siding with fascism. Do liberals expect the Palestinians to have a well-funded, well-organized militia to combat the Israeli apartheid regime in a fashion that is suitable and comfortable for the liberals to accept? They're literally blowing in on paragliders and using bulldozers to dismantle the wall that's been placed around them in the concentration camp that they live in. Does the liberal expect for a well-organized Palestinian brigade to march up to the presidential palace and demand Netanyahu's surrender? Do the Palestinians only meet the liberals' criteria for waging war only if they are able to attack military targets, which are some of the most heavily defended armed fortresses to begin with for a reason? Will the liberal accept their struggle then? Not to mention, this liberal's only source of information has been corporate-funded media, which has an inherent bias in propagating the colonial narrative. These people literally take the Israeli Defense Force's claims at their word as sacrosanct. I mean, just go year by year and count the dead. Look at the Palestinian casualties since 2008 all the way to 2020 compared to the Israeli casualties. Once again, when violence is meted out by the security forces of an authoritarian state for decades and decades, the liberal closes his eyes. When the oppressed people finally decide to retaliate, it is never to the liberal's liking. It is always done in a manner that is not suitable for the high-minded ideals of the liberal. His moral superiority gives him the strength to side with the fascists.
Nixon ordered Cambodian genocide. Clinton sent cruise missiles to Sudan, people died. Obama gave the orders to do drone strikes. Reagan invaded Nicaragua in '85.